I've been trail running now for about 12 years. In that time and through those miles, I have owned many pairs of trail running shoes from many different brands. In all those years, and through dozens of pairs, rarely does something magical happen. You know what I'm talking about, that time when you put on a pair of shoes, you lace them up, you hit the trail, and you smile, and you can't stop smiling. That just happened to me very recently when I laced on these, the Xero Mesa 2. It's that Goldilocks moment, when everything is just right. That moment when I have found what is for me the perfect pair of trail running shoes. And that is what happened with the Xero Mesa 2. I'm trying to provide you an objective review on a shoe like I do with all of them. It's a little hard this time because my heart is in this particular pair of shoes. It's tough when I'm blinded by the light of having found what is for me the perfect shoe. If I could boil it down to one word, just a single word that's top of mind when it comes to the Xero Mesa 2, it's this: confidence. When I am wearing these on the most technical of trails, I feel an extraordinary degree of confidence. Everything seems to be dialed in just right with these, resulting in what I feel is a kind of total confidence. I got a firm fit in the back. I've got sufficient room in the front. It's easy to lace down. I've got great traction, super lightweight feel, and it's got the perfect balance underfoot between protecting me from sharp stuff, and yet it gives me plenty of tactility. Honestly, it's just a ball. An absolute foot party every time I lace these on and hit the trail. As I get started with my review of the Mesa 2, a couple things you should know. First, I was given these free from Xero Shoes Company in exchange for giving an honest review. If you've watched or read any of my other shoe reviews, you know I don't hold punches. If there's something I don't like about a shoe, I let her rip. And you know that's true whether I bought the shoes or got them from the manufacturer in exchange for doing a review. But this time, at the risk of giving you a plot spoiler, I could not find anything that I did not like about them. It immediately has become my new go-to shoe, my current favorite, and possibly one of my favorite trail shoes of all time. Secondly, you should know this is my first pair of Xero Mesa trail shoes, so I can't tell you from a personal perspective how these compare to the previous model. Look for somebody else's review for that. But let me break it down for you point by point why I'm giving this shoe such a high score. I'm going to present this with little focus on me at the desk here and more on the footage from the trail. Largely, this is because I have an enormous amount of visually amazing footage of running in the Xero Mesa in several locations throughout the Colorado Rockies, because they've become a new favorite trail shoe. So, here we go. First off, this is true to size. In most shoes, I wear 12.5. That's the size I ordered with the Xero Mesa 2, and they fit like they should. No hot spots, no rubbing. I'm good to go. Let's talk about flexibility. Again, everything you would expect for and hope from a Xero shoes footwear. Flexibility, hyper flexibility. It will not be controlling how your feet land. It will be completely up to you, as it should be. But what about sturdiness? What I call longevity potential. Well, let's not forget, and this was something I was concerned about, let's not forget that Xero Shoes started off as strictly a sandals company and only later branched into shoes and boots. This pair was my first ever pair of Xero brand trail running shoes. So I was a little concerned that maybe it wouldn't be enough of a shoe because I've always known them as primarily a sandal company. But I have got to go 5 for 5 on the sturdiness score too. I have put a lot of miles on them already. The fact that these have become my go-to shoe is saying a lot, since I'm kind of the Imelda Marcos of trail running shoes. It's like I got a pair for every day of the week. Their advertising says that these are tougher than the previous version of the Mesa. I don't know about all that, since this is my first pair of trail shoes. But what I know is that this shoe it's tough enough. I have seen no signs of wear or weak spots anywhere, except a tiny bit of wear on the tread chevron here at the rear. But that doesn't surprise me or disappoint me. First, I love to bomb down hills. Second, for any trail run less than, say, 18 or 20 miles, this has become my first pick, so I already have more than 100 miles on them. Most importantly, I'm getting as much traction today as I got the day I went for my first run in them. The tread still has got plenty of bite on both the uphill and downhill after 100 miles. The only real wear point you can see is actually something that I caused. It's not a fault of the shoe. You can see some scratch marks here on the side. But that is because I was doing some very technical rocky stuff up above tree line on a trip, and so sliding up against some rocks, I apparently scratched it a little, but that's it. Otherwise, wear and tear, 5 out of 5. Let's talk about drainage. With a trail shoe, you of course need to assume your feet are sometimes going to get wet, as there are likely going to be stream crossings on the trail. I was able to test this in a couple of different places along a jeep trail that more or less parallels the middle fork of the Swan River below Colorado's Georgia Pass. The shoes got doused. I mean, completely dunked, as you can see. I made my way through 2 stream crossings, and I'm happy to report that I wasn't sloshing around for long. The shoes drained almost instantly, and within a mile or two were dry. Okay, but let's talk about the aesthetics. Aesthetics are always a matter of personal taste. As for me, I find this shoe tasty, aesthetically. I mean, you can't tell right now because it's covered in dust and dirt. But it is the kind of shoe that if you have a casual work environment that doesn't require true dress shoes, this would be a fantastic shoe to just wear all day. It's the perfect shoe to go from, say, your workplace directly to the trail. It's black on black, the one I got, so there you go. Easy choice for work to trail, and even work to street to trail. The tread is not so aggressive that you can't comfortably run streets or roads on your way to that trail, which is where it really shines. Now, let's talk about the dislikes. I got nothing. Honestly. For me, this has proven to be the closest thing to a perfect trail shoe that I've ever owned. I like it enough that it's become one of those models of running shoes that I will likely stock up on, just in case they change the fundamentals of the shoe in some future version. I want this shoe exactly as it is. To summarize, when you find a pair of shoes that gives you the confidence to go out boldly on that trail and do that rock dance that we call trail running, get that shoe. Stock up on it. That's what I'm going to do. In fact, don't stock up on them yet. Let me do that first in case they run low. I love it. I think you're going to love it too.